Hello everyone and welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to be looking at these types of problems that you see up on the screen where the base, the big number at the bottom, is a negative number. And so how does that change our answers? Just a reminder that this is the short version of this lesson, so we're going to go through it pretty quickly. If you would like a longer sort of in-depth look at this lesson where we go step by step, I will link that in the description below. Before attempting this lesson, you should already know how to multiply positive and negative numbers, and you should already know a good bit about exponents. So if you need refreshers on those, I will link those in the description below. All right, so I have this question up here. What's different? What's different about these two problems? Well, hopefully we immediately realize that this one on the left has no parentheses and the one on the right has parentheses. And this makes a big difference, okay? It completely changes the answers. So we got to pay attention to this. So let's see how it works. So for this problem on the left, no parentheses. The way this works is this is saying 2 times 2 times 2, right? We already learned about exponents in that previous video. And the negative sign gets attached to just the first number, all right? So now I go from left to right. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. All right. Another way to look at this is if there are no parentheses, then your answer is always negative. So no parentheses, always negative. Now, for the problem on the right, when we have parentheses, this is saying negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, right? And the difference here is that every number gets the negative symbol. So now we multiply negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. And over here, negative 1 times negative 1 is also positive 1. And now we have positive 1 times positive 1, which is just 1 for our final answer. All right, we covered these special cases in a previous video, but let's see how it works with a negative base. Any number to the 0 power, is 1, okay? And so this is 1. Now you need to be careful for this problem beneath it, right? We know it's going to be 1, but also we said that, if it doesn't have parentheses, the answer is always negative. So this is actually negative 1, all right? For this problem on the right, anything to the first power, right? Any number to the first power is itself. So this does not change. Negative 2 to the first power is just negative 2. Okay, here are 4 problems for you to try on your own. Go ahead and pause the video and try these problems on your own. And when you're ready, you can unpause and we'll check your answers. Okay, now that you've had a chance to work these problems, let's check your answers. For this first problem, you should have had negative 5 times negative 5, which is positive 25. For this second problem, you should have done negative 1 times 1 times 1 times 1. When you multiplied these out, you should have gotten negative 1. For number 3, this is negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. You multiply these, you get positive 1, positive 1. And then times negative 1. And your final answer should have been negative 1. And side note here, well, let's finish the last problem. We'll talk about the side note. Number 4, this is negative 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So your final answer should have been, this is negative 4, this is positive 4. So negative 4 times positive 4 is a negative 16. Now, when you have parentheses, so I'm looking at number 1 and number 3. If you're looking for a pattern here, the pattern is that if it is an even power, your answer will always be positive. If it is an odd number, your answer will always be negative, all right? You can always just multiply it out so you don't ever have to remember that rule, but if it helps you, that's the rule. All right, that is it for today. I hope you all have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.